With your spirit open and unconstricted, look at things from a high point of view. Miyamoto Musashi. And what Musashi is teaching us here, I believe, is to stand back and see what is really happening. Don't lose the forest for the trees. That is the reason we have the trees, which is, of course, the half day. And then we step back a little bit, maybe on a hill with the 2-day. And then we're on the mountaintop on the weekly, showing us what's really going on. We see the big wave, and that is, of course, what we trade. The previous setup that we had was the classic beautiful pattern where the market found a bottom and turned around with higher than average volume there and then shot up through the roof. That is a beautiful turnaround. Does it always happen? No, but when it does happen, man, you want to look at it. Now, ended the day up 0.37%. Not a lot going on in the markets over the last few days. We see where things have climbed up and have just sort of been sliding sideways so far this week. Last week, the high, 456.38. This week, the high, 458.32. So we are up a little higher. Again, we're talking $450 plus ETF, up $2. Not a lot, but still moving in the right direction. We look at where the volume is. We've already surpassed last week, but remember, last week was a shortened trading week. We have a ways to go. On Friday, I doubt we'll get that, but who knows? We'll keep an eye on things. We just see things meandering around. One of two things is going to happen. The market's going to get more fire and blast up, or it's going to rotate over going down. Now, the NASDAQ 100 down a little bit for the day. You can see where it's been sliding sideways and then down in the morning and afternoon, only down 0.25%. You can see where the latest 2-day candle representing Wednesday and Thursday is sitting right there on the weekly trend line. So again, like the NASDAQ, well, like the S&P 500, we will keep an eye on the NASDAQ 100, see how it wraps up the week. Now, the biggest pullback that we have for the day is 20-year bonds. Now, we had the last several days up big. Little pullback here, 1.13%. As we look at where things have gone, nice candle, nice volume, nice average volume, nice candle, bigger candle than we had on several previous on the 2-day. And again, blowing off some steam. We've seen that happen before in this climb. We just don't want it to be an extended blow off, so we will keep an eye on things. Let's move on to gold. Gold pulling back some for the day again after many days of running up. Still left us with a nice 2-day candle. We look at where we are on the weekly, almost up to average now. Nice up candle, things looking good. So we're going to lastly look at Bitcoin. Where is Bitcoin? Well, it's barely up 0.36%. Not a whole lot for Bitcoin. We see things sliding sideways, piercing on the half-day chart and really on the weekly chart too. This latest candle has pierced the weekly trend line. 2 days sitting right there on it, trying to push through it. Again, I keep telling you guys, watch for this pattern that we've seen where things move up, slide sideways, pull back some. It doesn't look like once it starts moving down, it's typically resuming that upward move. But we'll watch and see if Bitcoin is already topping and is getting ready to move over going down, or if it's going to gain some extra steam. So if you're practice trading Bitcoin, be very careful not to lose what you've earned. That is where we are. Always love to hear from you. Patreon members, I've already sent out to you before I even did the show today, our weekly vertical crossovers. We've only got 4 this week. I think it's 3 up, 1 down. But I did curate those as well as I could for you with decent volume in the turnaround. So hopefully there'll be some good things for you to look at. I'd rather have 4 good ones than 20 bad ones. And so encourage you to practice trade those. Also, charting cryptos, commodities, and currencies. The link to that is in the email we sent out to you, along with the 3-wave trades. Now, remember, if for some reason you're a Patreon member and you don't see the email, I always upload everything at the Patreon page, so it's there for you. If you aren't getting your Patreon email, let me know. Typically, I know Patreon sends them all out. It would be that you are entered wrong, or most likely we're getting caught up in your spam filter. That is where we are, folks. Always love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. Daniel, Patreon member, I got your question. I think I answered it for you. Always love to hear from you guys. God bless.